Hello and welcome to the Synergy Sanctum. This is our series focused on positive life coaching lessons with Squee the Immortal, where we aim to provide everyone with awareness and coaching that is focused on identifying your goals and your values, ensuring that the steps you take on your own adventure are aligned with that return on time that you are seeking, and sharing countless strategies focused on positive mindsets, resilience, and flourishing as a person each and every day. Let's get into today's episode. So Seligman's initial theory around positive psychology proposed that humans need 3 psychological needs in order to lead to this flourishing lifestyle. And the 3 needs were to feel positive emotions, engage in activities that give life meaning and purpose, and to have positive relationships with others, right? So this idea that I should have positive emotions more often than not. So going back to the 1-to-3 ratio, right? For every negative experience that I have, I need 3 positive ones. I should actively look for ways to have these positive emotions and these positive experiences because it is a psychological need. And when we're describing something that's a psychological need, it is in our minds and in our bodies the same need as like food and water, the same need as like belonging or connection, and these like deeper psychological needs that we have. That is how intense it is when you lean into them and fulfill them for yourself, right? So it isn't just like, oh, I had a great day today, this is good. It's no, my body is craving this. It's craving this positive emotion and these positive experiences. I should aim to try to have as many of those as possible. In addition, engaging in activities that give you and your life meaning and purpose are as essential, right? So it's not just about this idea that like I'm having positive emotions, I need to be positive all the time. I don't necessarily think that that's feasible, right? It's not feasible to just speak positive all the time, but I think it is feasible to go into the day with a positive mindset and trying to do things that you are aware fill your cup or that are associated with your strengths. And then if something negative happens or there's a setback or whatever might occur, an obstacle, you're pursuing a goal and you fail or it doesn't work out the way you planned, you then go into like those activities trying to find the meaning or the higher purpose towards what your goals ultimately are, what you're ultimately trying to achieve, right? And then that is the fuel that allows you to have the resilience to move past those setbacks and move past those obstacles, right? So when you're taking that initial intent to have positive emotions and positive experiences, you're then aligning that with the meaning and purpose that you're ultimately pursuing or the larger goal that you're ultimately talking through. And this goes back to the like on purpose discussion that we talked about in previous episodes, right? Every person has some unique higher calling or purpose, and we should strive to try to understand what that is. And then we should strive to take actions that lead towards that purpose every single day. And it's not to say like I need to achieve my lifelong purpose tomorrow, but I should be doing things that have meaning for myself and that have this purpose. And then the final one, having the positive relationships with others and the connection with others. Like what does all of this matter if I'm just doing it for myself, right? It's a human need to connect to others, to connect to like-minded people, to have connection. It's validation and it's exciting and it's positive and it's something that we want, right? We want to be accepted by our fellow people, and we want to find the people that love us and cherish us and validate us. And it's important to like have that top of mind. So like if I'm in a relationship or I have family or whatever that isn't like positively impacting me, is it the best thing for me to keep leaning into those relationships, right? Because I should go into relationships seeking meaning and positive relationships with others in the way that I want to show up, right? So, and the way that I want others to show up for me. So if they're not showing up in a way that's positive to me, am I voicing that to them? Am I voicing it to them that like, hey, this is important to me. This is how I want to be treated. This wasn't okay, whatever it is. And it's hard, right? It's difficult, especially when it's someone that you love and care about or someone that's been around for a while, to suddenly like try to challenge and shift the way that they're approaching the relationship with you. But again, these are like psychological needs. It's a psychological need for you to be able to like voice to others, hey, this is how I need people to show up in my life. This is how I want people to show up in my life. This is the type of people that I want in my life. And if they're incapable or unwanting to, or they don't want to do that, then like, is it is it going to benefit you longer term as a person with your flourishing and what's important to you and what's positive for you? It's probably not, right? And while that might suck and it might be uncomfortable and it might cause this risk versus reward depending on who the people are, it's a psychological need. Why wouldn't we like be our greatest advocate in that moment? And then we're going to ultimately talk through how this played out with Martin Seligman, but he did add 2 additional psychological needs to the initial 3 that he developed when he came up with the branch of positive psychology. And the 2 additional needs were finding meaning and fulfillment in what you do and you're seeking. So very, very closely aligned to the meaning and purpose one, right? Like focusing on my life's meaning and purpose and how I can do things. This one's getting more into the actions, like what are the actions that I'm doing, and are those actions ultimately bringing me the value and the return that I'm seeking? And if they're not, then like why do I continue to do them, right? Do I feel guilt or obligation to continue to do them? Is somebody telling me to continue to do them? Do I feel like I need to continue to do them in order to get paid, or to have people connect with me, or to have people show up, right? And it's like, if that's the case, like maybe those aren't the right relationships, or maybe that's not the right job, or maybe that's not the right situation to be in. But it takes courage, right? It goes back to the risk versus reward and the fear zone, right? Like in those moments where you're going to challenge and disrupt this, you are actively putting yourself into this fear zone, and you are confronting probably the greatest risk that you've ever faced, the risk to your relationships, the risk to your like well-being, your fulfillment, where you're going to be as a person eventually. But again, these are psychological needs. Your mind and brain are telling you, hey, I need this. And then you have this struggle internally of like, I need this but, right? But the but isn't important. The but isn't important if it doesn't align or fulfill with the need that you ultimately have. And you have to have the courage to be willing to stand up for yourself and ultimately like choose you, right? And focus on what's important for yourself and what you need, because that's what's going to lead you to flourishing as a person every day. That's what's going to lead you to waking up every day and feeling like, all right, I'm ready to take on the day. No matter what happens, I feel equipped, and I feel equipped because I have awareness of what's important to me and what I value and what my goals are. I have awareness of how that aligns. I'm around people that like embrace this and celebrate it, and I'm actively taking actions to achieve it. And then the final one, and this might seem like a simple one, but having the ability to pause and savor your wins, your achievements, your accomplishments, right? Like appreciate these successes that you have and the measures of success, right? You don't have to hit it out of the park tomorrow and buy a house, but did you do something today that led to buying a house? Did you do something today that led to you furthering your education or getting a better relationship or like helping your kids or whatever it is, like shifting it more towards almost how Atomic Habits thinks of it, right? In the previous episodes we've discussed of this idea of like small intentional actions lead to positive changes in behavior. If you haven't been thinking like this or living this, you are ultimately creating new habits and behaviors that align with this mindset, right? And it's been proven, it's a whole field of psychology, it's been proven to benefit you and to add to your cup and fill your cup and lead to fulfillment and this idea that you're flourishing in your mindset, like I'm vibing, I'm doing the things that I need to do and that I want to do, and I have validation that they're leading to where I want to be and who I want to be. Like that just hits completely different than letting all of these things that are out of your control take over and just like endlessly like break you every day, right? Like waking up in the morning and just feeling like exhausted, waking up in the morning and focusing on the negative or all the things that you don't have or don't get to do, instead of focusing on either what you do have and practicing gratitude and savoring it, right? Or focusing on the actions that are going to lead you to a more positive life. Because if you're not like trying to change the game, then what are we doing? You're going to like keep living in this hole and not feeling like you're like in control, or that you can positively impact yourself, or that you can like control your goals, or like you're never going to get out of this and I'm never going to do any of this, because it's just like it seems exhausting, and honestly it might be exhausting, but is it as exhausting to continue to deal with what you're dealing with? Or is it less exhausting to actually take the steps to maybe change for the better, or to do an action, or to stand up for yourself, or to outline a boundary that you have, or to rethink how you're approaching your work so that you are flourishing as a person? And it all just stacks. And again, they're all psychological needs. They're all within you as needs that you need as a person. I don't think I can stress that enough. Is your brain and your mind, whether you're conscious, consistently thinking about this, or you believe anything that I'm saying, it's been proven in all of the research and studies that it is a psychological need, that without it, you're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel like things are out of your control. You're going to feel like you're never going to move the needle past where you are. And that sucks. And you are capable of doing that as a person. You just need to have the courage and the awareness to know what it is that's important to you, and then how can I go about trying to achieve it. And those two things are fully within your control every single day if you decide to think about it and give it intentional effort.